Okay, I am back for part 2. We are going to discuss this time the LA District Attorney. I mean, come on. Really, guys? Okay. The Conrad Murray Verdict. You'll learn a lot about what happened to help prove that Michael Jackson faked his death and how the body was a body double in Alive 2. That is the most technical of the 3 documentaries, is Alive 2. So the verdict of the Conrad Murray trial says that Conrad Murray has been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, Penal Code section blah 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 blah, alleged victim Michael Joseph Jackson on the alleged date of June 25th, 2009. Okay, now alleged means to assert without proof, right? So they're telling us straight out that they cannot prove that that body was Michael Jackson's, period. That's what that means. And they don't know when that body died, okay? But I want them to admit it, okay? So I have been serving Freedom of Information Acts. I have served one to the LA Coroner, and these go back to me working on this nearly a year, since August 2017. Is when I first served the Freedom of Information Act to the coroner. And the coroner, I asked him, where's the driver's license? If you named the body from a driver's license and you identified the body with a visual comparison to a driver's license, where is that driver's license? Okay? Because all the death documents are in the wrong name, meaning that it can be ruled invalid. Okay, it can be ruled invalid. It's supposed to use your true legal name according to the Center for Disease Control, and more importantly, the California Department of Public Health requires it to be in your real legal name. Okay, so the coroner's like, I ain't giving you nothing. I'm not giving you no fingerprints, and you're going to have to subpoena the hospital, and you're going to have to subpoena Forest Lawn to get whatever information, but I'm here to tell you that I didn't misidentify the body. Okay, all right, so why? Yeah, you did. Because the driver's license that you used to identify the body and to name the body doesn't exist. Okay? Michael's real name is Michael Joe Jackson. Okay? His legal name is what appears on his passport and what appears on his driver's license. That's his legal name. Okay? It doesn't even matter what's on his birth certificate. It matters what the government has as far as your legal forms of ID, and they are your driver's license and they are your passport. When you go cash a check and when you go take money out of your account, what do they accept as a legal form of identification, proof of identification? A driver's license and a passport. Okay? A birth certificate won't let you get into your bank account. Okay? It can be used as a secondary, but not by itself. Okay, so anyway, there's no driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson, and I have that in writing from an attorney from the DMV. And he said the coroner said he sent it back to the DMV, which is one of the rules that you're supposed to do. Okay, but when you are identifying a body, you put a copy of whatever you use to identify the body inside the packet, right? You put it inside the autopsy, whatever the file is. So anyway, so there is no driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. That's a major problem. Okay, major, especially when I sent him copies of the Michael Joe Jackson driver's licenses too, and I sent him copies of the passports as well. Okay, so he stuck to a lie. He stuck to it. He did not say, oh, I made a mistake. Oh, his name is Michael Joe Jackson. Well, let me fix that. Nope. Because in order to change a name on a death certificate, you need a court order. Okay, so they don't just give you a court order just because. Okay, so anyway, so we have that problem. Okay, so we're moving on. So then I decided to serve a Freedom of Information Act to the David Walgren, who was the prosecutor in the Conrad Murray case, the state of California versus Dr. Conrad Robert Murray, right? And And alleged victim, alleged date. Why? What's alleged? Who confirmed the dead body? I asked them that. David Walgren gave me the runaround, sent me to the Public Information Office. The Public Information Office told me to go to the DA's office. The DA office told me, this is what they told me, okay? They told me, we're not answering your question. It's too burdensome. It's too burdensome. Too burdensome. Can you believe that? I want to know who filled out the verdict form. Who wrote it? Okay? And who confirmed the dead body was Michael Jackson's. I don't know why that has to be a secret. The whole world thinks Michael Jackson is dead. So what's wrong with giving the proof that he is dead? What's the secret? Just like with Forest Lawn. Everybody thinks Michael's buried in Forest Lawn, but Forest Lawn is going to lie and say he ain't. It's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. We're going to tell you he's dead, but we're not going to back up any information to prove it. None. It's counterproductive. It is not supportive of the narrative. The narrative that's out there is Michael Jackson is dead. Okay? Forest Lawn should say, sure, he's buried here. Right? She should be in the database or whatever. But they won't. They won't even talk about Michael Jackson when I was up there 3 weeks ago. They don't even want to mention him. But now that Joe Jackson is buried there, and he is not buried next to Michael Jackson in the mausoleum in a locked building where you can't see that there's no name on the grave. Okay? All right? He is buried on the ground, okay, in the ground, out in public, so everybody can see. I'm going to go up there and in a little while and take a look and see if I can figure out where it is, because it takes a while for a tombstone to be built and made, and so he won't have a tombstone for a while. But LaToya McCall Jackson, who is not Michael's sister LaToya, who is a cousin, I think her grandfather is Joe Jackson's brother. That's what I think. Either her father or her grandfather. I think it's her grandfather. Is Joe Jackson's brother. She took pictures of the hole in the ground with, the casket over the hole in the ground, the mound of dirt. Oh, I hate when it starts blinking. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It just does that. But the mound of dirt, okay, the mound of dirt with the green, cloth over it or whatever that is, astroturf, over the dirt that you're going to put back after you put somebody in the ground. She took a picture and released it within like 30 minutes after it happened on on Facebook, y'all. Oh my God. Oh my God. So we know that Joe is not buried next to Michael, despite what the media tells you, but at the same graves place that Michael Jackson's estate bought a crypt. Michael's not buried there. Forest Lawn doesn't admit that he's buried there. Okay? They don't have it in writing because they don't want to get in trouble. Okay? Now, the coroner has a second problem. Forest Lawn says we don't have his body and we've never had his body, right? Right? But the coroner in the autopsy said that they took the body to Forest Lawn, and LaToya went up to Forest Lawn in August 2009, and she did something and got a hair sample and set the body up and got a hair sample. Forest Lawn says we don't have his body and we've never had it. Told that to dozens of fans. Told me the same thing when I called. In writing, I have that he's not listed in the database anywhere from an employee of Forest Lawn. Okay? Have recordings of Forest Lawn saying, no, he's not here. And anybody else that works at Forest Lawn and tells you he is, they are liars. They don't know. They don't know. Okay? Now, let's move on. So, alleged victim, alleged date. Okay? So, I know I rambled for a minute, but, hey, I get passionate about this. Okay. So, here is the letter. Let me show you guys the letter that I got from the coroner. From the LA District Attorney. Okay, and I highlighted something. I asked, why is the date and the person alleged, and who created this verdict form? And I also asked who confirmed who the dead body is, but they didn't want to put that in the letter. They put something like, portions of your PRA request have been have been paraphrased and or omitted, but are hereby incorporated in reference. Now, I asked you who confirmed the dead body was Michael's too. Okay, so they say, likely the only people that could answer that question were the prosecutors that actually tried the case, and they are no longer with this office. In any event, these questions cannot be answered by this office. Okay, I went to David Walgren first. Okay, so it should be a simple question. Alleged, answer it. Simple. The world thinks Michael's dead. There's no secret you're going to let out. There's no private information you're going to let out. You know, the only thing that you could be that you're hiding is that you discovered the body wasn't his. Okay, so the district attorney has been playing games with me for over 100 days. So yesterday, they told me that I should go to, here we go. Let's see what this other, here's the second page of the letter. Okay, and it's signed by the district attorney. It says, "We regret that you have not received satisfactory answers. However, it may be best for you to go to the Los Angeles County Superior Court and request to see the court file in the aforementioned case, and then search through the file to see if the answers are in the court file." Okay, so I went down there yesterday, right? Okay, I went down there yesterday and got the runaround. Okay, went down there, went to the public information office, went to the DA's office, and then went to the crimes unit, and nobody wants to answer the question. Okay, nobody wants to address it. Okay, so therefore, it's better to not answer it than to answer it. Because if they answer it, the cat is out the bag that they lied to the world. That they discovered that dead body was Michael's, and then they used trickery in the verdict to cover up because they didn't want to look like fools on a world stage. That body has never been confirmed. Everywhere you turn in the Michael Jackson death line, from the 911 call to UCLA, Soleil Sean and Trauma Gershwin, to the coroner, to the Forest Lawn, to the trial. And then the Catherine trial. AEG refused to even stipulate that Michael Jackson was dead. And then they only did it by referencing the wrong name of Michael Joseph Jackson. Okay? Everywhere you turn, nothing checks out. So if the world thinks Michael Jackson is dead, what the heck is wrong with the proof that supports that? What is private about that? Nothing. Nothing. Okay? So, right now, the district attorney's office giving me the runaround in person and giving me the runaround with paperwork as well. And then he sends me this letter, the end of June 29th, with the date on it. The date of, can you guys see that? Let me see if you can see that. I don't know if you can see the date of, can you see that? May 18th. Sent me a letter dated May 18th, and he sent it to me talking about, "I'm sorry, I should have sent this out a month ago." And the May 18th is before they sent me the May 23rd letter saying they're opening up an investigation. So they're playing games, and I'm getting sick of the games. I'm getting sick of people lying. I'm getting sick of the charade. Tired of it. Okay? Me being called a liar, incompetent, delusional, a fool, crazy, a charlatan, money hungry, a bad person, all this stuff, and all I'm doing is telling the truth, and I'm giving fans the good news about there's nothing at all that proves that Michael Jackson is dead. Catherine and Joe never saw the dead body. Never saw it. Okay? And then Macaulay Culkin, when I'm serving the Freedom of Information Acts and I'm reporting on it, Macaulay Culkin hanging out with Paris on his bunnyears.com, he does a post saying how to fake your death, and number 4 is bribe the coroner. Really? You know what? You know what I think? And this is just my opinion. You know how they can never find all these dead bodies? There's dead bodies that were never discovered. I wonder if the coroner, I'm not saying this coroner, any coroner, if they could dispose of dead bodies, they can cremate them, they can do whatever they want with dead bodies. They have the permission to. They have the paperwork, they have the know-how, and they have the access. Because this has opened up a whole new way of thinking for me. I thought that all these people in these agencies were trustworthy. I really did. But, so, the LA District Attorney refuses to answer the question. Simple question, who wrote the verdict form? And I know it was David Walgren because the prosecutors in a case are the ones responsible for writing a verdict form, and the defense and the judge are the ones that sign off and approve it. Okay? All right. So anyway, so another dead end where people won't answer alleged victim, alleged date. That means the body was not Michael Jackson's and they knew it. Okay? All right, so let's move on. All right, so I'm done with that one. So I'm closing this one off, and I am going to start another one with another topic, okay? So I'll see you guys in a few minutes.